Thank you so much, Joanne. Appreciate that. I'll introduce the last formal presentation today. So on the calendar or schedule, you see that Dr. General Liang was scheduled to speak on telemedicine and AI for medical devices. General had a medical emergency, and we're really grateful that from the same company, Robin Osmond, VP of Business Development, has really done an amazing job to present for General. And just one note, General's slides were based on his experience, so it was very specific. So Robin actually had to develop new slides for this talk in just a few hours. So we'll be uploading those new slides so that you'll be able to have them. And I'll do a quick intro for Robin. So Robin is a global executive with experience in startups, large caps, and also across different sectors, healthcare, technology, and even entertainment and advertising. So her most recent experience in the healthcare area was a consulting firm, IQVIA, very prestigious. And her role was a sales management consultant executive for over 4 years. So thank you so much, Robin, for making this happen for us, and looking forward to your talk.
Thank you, Yuan. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes, perfect. Okay. Perfect. Thank you for inviting me to the party, everyone. I appreciate it. So as Yuan mentioned, I am playing the role of Dr. General Lung, and my caveat is I am not Dr. General Lung. I am not a PhD MRI physicist. My background is business development. So I have tweaked the presentation a little bit to be a little more along my stream. So it's a little less formal than General talk was, and it's a little less sciencey, to be candid. So I'm hoping to give you guys a bit of a lighter afternoon session. Let me see if the slides will change for me. It's down. They're not changing. There we go. All right, so here's the agenda. I have the discussion broken out into four sections. The topic is telemedicine and AI within the medical device sector. I'm actually going to start with a little bit of current content and a bit of retro content about the pandemic. Then I'm going to move into telehealth, telemedicine, mHealth, insert jargon here for some form of remote health access and how that connects with Big Iron, which is the premise of General's research and what has founded Mimosa's technology. I'm going to bring us then out of the world of academia into the real world case study of the application for this type of telemedicine and AI on a patient basis. And then what the integration actually looks like, or the practical application for patients as well as practitioners. So I'm sure no one has any interest in hearing much about COVID this afternoon. You can very easily open your Facebook, turn on any news station, et cetera. You can't escape it. But it is a reality, especially in terms of the trajectory that we see now in telehealth, telemedicine, as well as AI. So as horrible as this global pandemic is, it has presented the med device and the healthcare community with unprecedented opportunity to accelerate technology and approaches in a very global collaborative perspective that previously has not been the mood or the collective agenda, I think, of all healthcare organizations to be able to work together in this type of partnership and really revolutionize the approach to med device and healthcare. That being said, all of us who, and I know this is a varied panel, some people are in Canada, some people are in the US, but the canary was in the coal mine here, specifically in Toronto in the early 2000s, and that was the SARS-1 and SARS-2. One of our co-founders, along with Dr. General Lung, is Dr. Karen Cross. He is a practicing surgeon here in Toronto, and she was on the front lines of SARS. So her experience in that regard, and at the time, General was also working with running one of the MRI departments here in Toronto. So their combined experience when the lead up to the pandemic was happening a few months ago was very, very pertinent because they lived this, particularly Karen. So what happened during SARS? So post year one of SARS, there was a 45 to 55% reduction in patients. And we're hearing that echoing right now. Patients are scared to go to the hospital. They're turning up during COVID in advanced disease states. For us, the time was actually limited within Toronto to an organized fashion of SARS hospitals and non-SARS hospitals. So now that this pandemic has broadened out to reach every healthcare system, we're going to anticipate that the long-term impact over this year going into 2020